Hey, and welcome to another episode of Motors and Meats. I have just bought a new Porsche and I want to share that with you finally today, and here it is. If you guys played along on social media here over the last few days where we've been guessing what it could be, and if you guessed Cayenne S, you were right. So I have finally taken the plunge and bought myself an off-road toy. So I've never really done off-roading before, so I'm looking forward to this adventure. And I was looking for a Cayenne that I could lift, put big wheels on, do the bumpers, the roof rack, the underbody armor, the whole 9 yards there. And I actually found one that already had the 3-inch lift and it had 33-inch tires on it. 20-inch wheels. Ideally, I think I would like to have 18-inch wheels so I'd have more sidewall of rubber, but this already had it on there, so, you know, I'm not gonna complain. What I've picked up is a 2004 Cayenne S, and it has been lifted with a Eurowise 3-inch lift, and it has 33-inch tires. They're Falcon Wild Peaks, and they've got a really aggressive tread, heavy sidewall action going on here, good tread over there. Also, it's pouring rain, and I'm just out here doing a video. The glories of GoPro, right? Waterproof cameras. The color on this thing is called Jurama Beige, and I wasn't sure at first if it was Jurama Beige or if it was the Prosecco color that they have, but the Prosecco is a little bit more yellow than this. They're very similar colors, and I really love it. This has always been my favorite shade on a Cayenne from this era. It just looks like it belongs out across the desert or up the side of a mountain somewhere. Now, some plans that I have for the Cayenne coming up. We're going to do all of the off-road kit from Eurowise. We've got the bumper already. I have the bumper. Let me show you that. It's a tube steel bumper, comes with a tow hitch point, and it mounts right up to the factory bumper points on the car. And this is going to help protect the underside of the car. It's also going to allow for a tighter approach angle. That means that you can come up and down steeper hills with this as compared to the stock bumper setup. I bought the Cayenne in Charlotte, North Carolina, and that just happens to be where Eurowise headquarters are. In fact, my hotel was only 4 miles away from Eurowise. So I just randomly drove over there the morning before I left town just to see their operation, tell them what my plans were with the car, and asked if they had any random parts. Most of the time it's 5 to 6 weeks lead time on getting parts from them because they build them to order. But in this case, they actually had the rear bumper in stock. I don't know if it was an overstock, if someone had it built and then canceled their order last minute, but in this case, I lucked out. So here's what it looks like right now. All of this black plastic around here, around the bottom, has to come off in order for the bumper to replace that. But the biggest modification that has to happen is that enormous muffler has to be removed. Now, if you've done any reading on any of the forums or watched any videos on these, you know that most people do a muffler delete on it anyway because it sounds really aggressive, but it's not super annoying inside the cabin like it would be over there on the 911. So I get to cut out the muffler on this thing. It's not clamped in the way it is on the 911. So I have to actually take a saw to it, cut the muffler out, and then we remove the back bumper cover, put the new thing on. It's supposed to be a little bit of trimming involved in that as well. The next thing I'm going to do is the front bumper. So the front bumper will actually replace the lower portion of this, all the black part here as well, and it extends out with a bull bar that will come out here. Take a look at this from their website. There'll be a winch that mounts inside of here and sits on top of a plate that's part of that bumper. And you'll notice the roof, it has no rack on it. So we're going to put the Eurowise version 2 roof on there, and it looks like this, and that's what it's going to look like when we finish. And then the next thing that I have in mind is the sliders, the rock sliders, the rocker protection pieces that go all the way along the bottom side here, like this on their website. Now there's thousands and thousands of dollars that you can spend on upgrading one of these to make them more off-road capable. And if you'd like a little bit more insight into what that looks like in practicality, go check out Harrison's website. He is YouTube famous for building out his and living out of it for the last year and a half. Now before we hit the road, let me show you a few things that just need to be taken care of with it. With any car that's 19 years old that has got 133,000 miles on it, there's going to be some things that need to be taken care of. This corner light right here needs to be replaced. Simple enough. I have one brake light that's out, and both of my license plate illumination light bulbs are out. Simple enough, just light bulbs. I'll get that taken care of pretty quickly. Next, I have an airbag warning light on. No idea what that's about. The Carfax on this thing came out clean, no accidents, but I've heard that that can be on for random reasons, faults and such. Also, I've got one little switch over here on the rear passenger side door that that needs to be replaced. Take a look at that. So it's in place there, but the tabs are broken off on it, and it just plugs in. It still functions, but we need to replace that. But other than that short list, the car's in really good order, and I'm really looking forward to getting to do some fun things with this car. So first thing that I'm going to do is knock out all of those little basic things, get it back to where everything is just perfect, and then we will proceed with the overland build. That's going to be fun. What better way to break in a new off-road Porsche than taking it out to the woods? I'm going to meet my cousin Brooke Sanders. If you're from the South, you may have heard of Real South Hunting. It's a TV show that that Brooke created with his brother Patrick, and now Anthony Bourne and Brooke run the show there.
What's going on here?
Barbecue, that's what's going on.
Hey, the tenderloin's ready. Take a look.
Ooh, that's pretty. Golly, that's gonna have some nice smoke ring to it as well. All right, let's stick that over there. Let it rest for a bit. Well, it's Saturday morning, and we had a lot of fun last night, as you can see. Take a look at this. The other guys are out trying to find some turkeys, and I've got a little bit of pork on the smoker right now, getting ready for lunch already. It's only 7 o'clock, but ribs take a little bit of time. Check these out. And they're just getting started. There's some apple wood and some hickory in there, but those ought to be pretty tasty. Got some tenderloin and some pork loin to do as well, so we should have some nice lunch. We went for a ride somewhere around midnight, and it was really neat getting to go down these gravel and dirt roads out in the middle of country where there are just no people. And you know, the roads were really in rough shape because we had just had rain for about 12 hours prior to that. So that meant we got to have a lot of fun. We even got to use the low range and the locking differential for one point on an old logging road. It was actually a new logging road. It was pretty fresh. But as soon as we came into a spot where it felt like we were just kind of shimmying and starting to lose some traction there, I went ahead and found a drier spot to stop and switched it over to the low range and locked the differential, and it had no problems at all. It's a completely awesome truck. And once the other guys get back from trying to find some turkeys, I'll take you for a little ride.
Just look at that.
Show the smoke ring on the side.
I mean, boys and girls, look at that. Holy cow.
What a great way to get to know this new car. New to me. It's 19 years old, and to me, I just couldn't be any happier with this. I love the ride quality both on the highway and especially off the highway. We did a little bit of rally cross style driving, you know, 35, 40 miles an hour down those small, twisty back road, not even back roads, dirt roads. And it just glided right through that. I got to try out the low range a bit in some really thick, nasty logging road mud, and it just handled wonderfully. So lots of new stuff coming up featuring the Cayenne. Still got the 911, the 996, so lots of new stuff coming up with that as well, including a big road trip back to the Tail of the Dragon. I know I go to the Tail of the Dragon all the time, but it's not till July, but meeting back up with all the usual faces there. So if you can come, if you can plan for July 20th through 23rd, I'd be happy to see you there and ride with you. But until then, thanks for watching.